For many years, the Cornwall Central School District has kept its buildings operating with repairs for its aging infrastructure as needs arose. More substantially, we made the school buildings ADA compliant in 2009 and gave the middle school auditorium its first facelift in 60 years in 2011. But our oldest building is 95 years old, and the youngest, aside from the new high school, was built 50 years ago. The time has come to address aging infrastructure on these buildings. Roofs, windows, bathrooms, and electrical systems have come to the end of their useful life. In addition, we need to acknowledge that changing times bring changing needs. School classrooms today are a far cry from those of the 20th century, and we need to make some changes to prepare our students for today's colleges and workplaces. To that end, a facilities committee has been meeting for the past 2 years to closely examine the needs of all the district's buildings and to see how 21st century learning and teaching might best be integrated into our present structure. Made up of board members, district administrators, and community members, the committee has identified $44.4 million of work priorities that will be presented to voters in a bond on December 5th. The good news is that with most of the work being eligible for state aid, close to 75% of the cost will be absorbed by New York State. The proposed work would address aging infrastructure and improve efficiencies. The proposition calls for renovating bathrooms in 4 of the 5 schools, installing energy-efficient windows for long-term cost savings, and replacing electrical equipment and lighting. Heating, ventilation, and air quality are also of key concern. In order to maintain optimal air quality for students and teachers, ventilators and heating units must be upgraded. Poor ventilation isn't just bad for learning, it's bad for our budget. Planned HVAC upgrades in all the elementary schools will be more efficient for long-term cost saving. Unfortunately, the high school roof has come to the end of its useful life and must be replaced, and the same is true for the district office and parts of the Willow Avenue Elementary School building. The proposed project also focuses on security issues, including the construction of new security entrances at all 3 elementary schools and at the middle school. These will provide a more secure entrance for screening and processing visitors. The middle school, which dates back to 1957, also needs renovations to the cafeteria and kitchen, classrooms and locker rooms, as well as a new main office. A key aspect of the project involves plans to move the 5th grade back to the elementary schools. 5th grade was moved to the middle school 14 years ago to resolve space issues. But for academic as well as social and emotional reasons, this age group is better suited to an elementary school setting. This would involve expanding the cafeterias in all 3 elementary schools where space is already tight during lunch. At Cornwall Elementary, this involves more work as the cafeteria currently doubles as an auditorium. Under the proposal, the stage in the cafeteria is removed, and an expanded gym will house the stage, which affects the adjacent music room. Some 5th grade classrooms will also be added at this school. Moving the 5th grade will open up space at the middle school for the 5th grade wing to be remodeled into a STEAM Innovation Center. Science, technology, engineering, art, and math have all taken a new direction in teaching and learning, where shared space for collaborative work is key, where the teacher is a facilitator as well as an instructor, and the teaching style is more student-centered, allowing students to explore through inquiry-based learning using both hands-on materials and the latest in technologies. The proposed capital plan also provides for a STEAM Innovation Center to be built at the high school. In addition, the library will also be expanded so that students can make better use of the new learning styles and 21st century technology. The high school will also see some improvements to its physical education facilities, where reconfigured physical education space, including a large weight room and fitness center, will provide much-needed room for instruction. At this time, this is such an issue that some students work out in the hallways. Also at the high school, an all-weather turf athletic field is proposed to allow field sports more playing time. After much community input, it's been decided to keep Cornwall football at the middle school, where a second turf field complex would be installed to accommodate the community at football games, as well as other sports, such as soccer and lacrosse. We will also be adding bleachers, restrooms, a concession stand, and storage space at each field. Both these fields will be open to community use when not being used by the schools, relieving severe playing field pressure in the town. While our annual school budget always includes routine maintenance costs, the operating budget cannot cover the cost of major upgrades like these in our buildings. By completing these projects through a bond, the district would avoid costly emergency repairs and reduce the tax impact by paying for the work over time. The proposed bond would be paid off over 15 years at a cost of approximately $217 per year for a home in Cornwall with a fair market value of $250,000. While we've covered most of the items in the proposition, full details on the proposed bond can be found on the district website at www.cornwallschools.com and look for the Capital Project Information tab. We're anticipating that the project would be completed within 2 years of securing New York State Education Department approval. Making these repairs and improvements now will continue to protect the investment the Cornwall community has made in its schools and ensure that our students are in a safe and comfortable environment that is conducive to 21st century learning. And of course, studies tell us that good quality schools make for stable home prices. That's why it is so very important for residents to vote in elections like this. You must be registered to vote. To register or apply for absentee ballots, contact the school district clerk at 845-534-8009, extension 7100. Or stop by the district office at 24 Idlewild Avenue. Or you can register with the Orange County Board of Elections. Voting will take place in the gym at the Cornwall Middle School from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Remember to vote on December 5th.